Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Bull Moose Baba here on the morning of Sunday, October 4th, pardon me, 2020. And today I want to continue expanding on old people, especially the Medicare age people. So this is a comment for you guys. How many of you have had problems with Medicare, or the hospital for that matter, where you go in for something? Say you're in dire straits like my wife and heart failure, uh, AFib, and diabetes that has to be controlled. Okay, and they spend a week in the hospital, and you need a cardio inversion in order to bring you back to AFib. Now they do the inversion, and they want you out. They try to discharge you immediately, mind you, because of your heart failure. You're in diuretics, in this case, torsemide, heavy amounts of torsemide, which makes you go 24/7, 365. You know how that is. Those of you who are on heart failure and have to eliminate fluid, you got maybe 4 minutes, and you have to go to the bathroom. If not, if you have to buy yourself a system that takes your urine, your fluid away, you know, that they can do in the hospital where they connect you to this catheter and this system does that. A lot of you are on that, aren't you? Yes. Well, and what happens? The hospital treats Medicare people like, we want you in and out ASAP because the government doesn't pay them much. But they have to perform treatments for them. But most of their next of kin don't understand Medicare and they don't know what their rights are. And so the hospitals are entitled to treat them as cattle. In the case over here in Kennestone Hospital, they tried to uh, discharge my wife the day after she had the inversion. Okay. And she wasn't feeling good. She could hardly move. So therapy somehow said, oh, yeah, she's ready to go. And mind you, she had just sat up on her bed. She was all wet. They took her for a walk and she got wet 4 times. And you know how you are. When you get wet, you know how you feel when you're wet all over the place. And it's the embarrassment. It's also you don't feel good and then you feel all wet. You know how that is. Well, so I told them, no way, Jose. And this was about getting close to 6 o'clock in the evening. They wanted to discharge her at 9 p.m. Can you imagine that? Discharge a person at 9 p.m. and try to take them home and get them there. And, it's already that time. So I told them I would call Medicare and I would tell them what they're trying to do. So they decided to discharge her the next day. So Thursday of this week was the next day. Of last week, I mean. So then they didn't redo the discharge order until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, knowing that they had the discharge order that they had rescinded the night before. They didn't tell the people they had to take the IVs and the heart monitor and everything else. So it was about 5 o'clock before they finally got everything done. And then I had to get the nurse to take a wheelchair down because their so-called transportation system to take you down to the thing was not there. Okay? Now, this is something for a patient that's got to be treated humanely, no matter what he is, old, young, or what. And here's the case with the old people. In this hospital here, Kennestone Hospital in Marietta, Georgia. When I left home on that Wednesday night, because she didn't get discharged, they were discharging old people and putting them at the curve. And it was 55 degrees. And some of them just had their hospital gowns. And it was windy. And they had this one kid I'm here to pick up my grandmother. Yeah? He didn't know his grandmother's last name or anything. So they finally found her, and he took her in the car, and I could still see his car. He stopped at the next area of the hospital, which was a cancer center, about 600 yards away. And he had called for a cab to take her home, and then he left. For people, a discharge, who don't confirm the next of kin who's going to take her home and stuff like that. And speaking of next of kin, like right now, my wife is back in the hospital this morning because of AFib, and her defibrillator went off. And now in the ER, they're telling her it's because of infection. That it's been 6 days. I called them up and I say, hey, and where was she 6 days ago? In your hospital. You discharged her with an infection. See what I mean, Americans? This is your favorite alien and Bull Moose Bubba. How many of you are as angry as I am? Like I said, this is your favorite alien and Bull Moose Bubba. Let me know. Thank you.